Hey, so, um, I had a very vivid dream last night where parts of it are sticking with me, and it has to do with backs turned and things revealed, and it's all very vague, but it kicked up feelings of betrayal and abandonment, and I've just had this really icky heavy, dark, depressed feeling today. Uh, and I know this is triggering. And I know a lot of this is coming from, could be all of it is coming from the fact that I'm digging deep into my own psyche, right, to tell this story. And I'm not even going into it in complete depth because I don't remember huge fragments of my childhood. Huge. I remember the feelings more than anything else. And I know that I was largely terrified and felt completely alone. One of those memories that stands out, I don't even remember what I did. But it was over Easter weekend, and there was a big Easter egg hunt that everybody was going on that day, except me. I was to stay in my room. So, I was a bit of a snooper as a kid, and the reason being because I knew, I could feel there was more going on than what I was being told. Even at that age, I was probably around 8 or 9. I just know that I hadn't seen my mother since the day she left after my birthday, when I was 6. Hadn't heard hide nor hair from her. And I'm required to call this usurper my mother and pretend like the first 5 years of my life never happened or something. Well, I found some letters. My parents had this, I don't know, what do you call it? I don't know if it's called a boudoir or armoire or whatever. Big, it's like a closet, only it's a standing closet. And it's, like on this side you can hang your shirts. You open this side and, there's the dresser down here, and up here then there's, like shelves where you can put stuff. And on one of those shelves were some letters, and those letters were addressed to my father from my mother. I found these letters, and I read at least part of one of, I might have read the whole thing, I might have read more than one. I just know that this was when I found out that my mother had not given up on us. My mom loved me, and that she fought for me for at least visitation. I don't remember what the letter said. I just remember how I felt, and it made me cry, and I accidentally dropped a tear. And when I tried to dab it, it smudged the ink. And apparently I hadn't been very careful, because it didn't take long for me to be confronted over my discovery of that letter. And I got in a lot of trouble. Spanked. So anytime I snooped after that, I was really, really careful to make sure I knew where something was before I moved it, so I could put it back exactly. Because I knew the people that were acting as my parents weren't always telling me the truth, though they required that from me. Oh, these little pop-ups drive me crazy. So, let it go, let it go, let it go. It's like as soon as I move it up, it pops right back fucking down with the new message. It's like, I don't want your fucking message right now. It's like, that's where I am today. I'm like, fuck you, and your fucking message. Sorry. My mother would send gifts that we weren't given. Every once in a while, they'd give us something she sent. I remember this outfit she sent for Christmas one year. I was 10. It was a burgundy skirt and sweater set, and the whole thing was a sweater skirt too. It had embroidery, flowers embroidered up here. It was beautiful, and I wore it all the time. My mother always had good taste in clothing. Anyway, we were stripped of all sense of identity. At least I was. I really just felt like I was floating in the abyss, waiting for the next thing to happen. I developed that whole waiting for the other shoe to drop very young, because everything carried a severe punishment. Everything. There is no such thing as a small faux pas. As I got older, my stepmother started setting me up to where, my God, that fucking... I've got to turn off those notifications because they're driving me crazy. But she would set me up. Like, we'd have a really good day, and she'd act like we were best friends, and we were really close, and she loved me, and yada, yada, yada. And I would work really hard for her. I always worked really hard for her during moments like this, where I thought that she really loved me, and we were bonding. And then when she would find some small faux pas to hold against me, and it would all just blow up in my face. And I would get the silent treatment for the next 3 months while she spoke to me like I was a mentally challenged 3-year-old that didn't understand basic concepts, and she had to speak slowly for me to understand. But it was always dripping with just cutting sarcasm that was just meant to demean and demoralize and dehumanize, and like I was just some piece of shit that she just scraped off her shoe, and I was just there to be the indentured servant because I owed her the breath of my life or whatever. Nothing I said was taken as true. I couldn't even be sick without being told I was faking. Like, I could have it coming out both ends, but I was somehow faking. So I had no sense of trust in myself and what I was thinking, what I was feeling, what I was doing. And oftentimes I would just give up and just stand there and just not even care anymore. Why is it taking you 2 hours to do a 10-minute load of dishes, Stephanie? Because right now I really don't give a fuck, because does it really matter what I did? It's all gonna be fucked anyway.